My question to all of us here is today, if THIKA was to come together, we have a lot of visions, we have a lot of fantastic ideas of becoming a smart city. What's missing? And I'm glad that this is the first THIKA night, right? What's missing? That's not keeping us together. You know, when we talk about partnerships, partnerships are required. And it's not only partnerships amongst small, medium enterprises with large enterprises. It's also people, public, private partnerships. Public means government side. Private sector means private. People means the citizenry, right? Which means consumers or customers or everyone together. And we need to have real PPPs whereby we can all start talking together with one voice. It's not them versus us. I think we're dividing ourselves so much. We need to change. So I am calling for a reset. A reset of all of us. First and foremost, collaborate. Let's collaborate together. So thank you for the association and all your workers, everybody else together to bring us together, because this is the beginning, right? Think about a vision for THIKA. I think the important thing is imagine yourself. Close your eyes and say, yeah, imagine walking through THIKA, right? Which thrives economically. Economically it's thriving. It's probably pumping as a heart, right? In Kenya. And I'm talking about a vision for the future, right? Where our community, all of us stand united and say enough is enough. We don't want oppression. And it's a place where all our education institutions, we have amazing, some of them are here, amazing education institutions who can create globally competitive human capital, right? And they could be world class. And THIKA can be a world class city. Now world class does not mean it has to be like a London or a Japan or a Paris or whatever. World class means healthcare is within reach for everyone. Right? Number two, where our public transportation works like crazy. It works because it's efficient, right? Where you can do what you can do in Japan. They choreograph your meetings and say, fine, 2 minutes from here, 3 minutes from here. The train every time comes on time, every time, never misses. Why can't we have that here? So we deleverage, we remove all the traffic snarls that we have today, and we really replan the whole place. Plus, I think the important thing is all models of efficiency. Government, administration is responsive to consumer needs. You want something done, it's done. There's no discussion about it. In fact, the digitalization of services should have been so easy to say you get it done online, on your system. Number two, the environment is preserved. We can have a circular economy here. There is technology now to take any brackish water, any saline water, any water coming out of an RO and remove entire salinity just by an organic method. It is so simple. You know what it's using? It's using human waste and cow waste. Add together a few ingredients and you produce it in a vessel, and it produces gas for you. That gas can be burnt like cooking gas. But also it gives you fertilizer. It gives you your brackish water, or your water can remove salinity. It also gives you biofertilizer and biopesticides. In fact, our soils here in THIKA can be refurbished in terms of saying, become better. Productivity can go up. We must become competitive here in THIKA. Unless we do that, what Bwana Maura did, when you used to interact with him in Arusha, opened up our markets to East Africa. We've now opened up, last 2 weeks ago, we've opened up our markets to the whole of SADC. SADC means Southern Africa Development Corporation. That is the entire South Africa. South African goods can come here duty-free, tax-free right now. They'll only pay VAT. So we've got ESC, then we've got TFTA, which is ESC, SADC and COMESA coming together. Egypt can send goods here duty-free. And the next one after that is AFCFTA, Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which means the whole of Africa, 48 countries now have signed up to it, and they're going to be able to send goods across. But the other side is we can also send our goods from here to them. So while we're opening to them, they're opening to us too. we competitive in making things here? It's not just goods. I agree with manufacturing, but it's also services. All the guys in IT, all the guys in printing, everything that you do, you can take it away a lot. You could start doing the same thing you're doing here in other countries too. Because there's a difference between East Africa and West Africa. And I think the distance that we have is going to be too big for us to start exporting from here to them. It's going to be, look, Kenyans, do what you do here, do the same thing there and replicate. And I can tell you some Kenyans are doing that in Africa. So they're doing that in East Africa too. And I think now the next one is DRC. Just opened up for us, duty-free, tax-free. However, we need to think differently. Say, the human capital we are producing here, right? We need to make them globally competitive so they can go into DRC. If 50 of our young kids went into DRC and said, fine, let's form a cluster there. We'll call it THIKA DRC. THIKA in DRC. And why not? Use the same skills you have here to get things done there. Because Africa needs it. So developing human capital, absolutely, Jesus said, go for that, multiply. Keep on doing that. Really keep on doing that. But send them across. We can do that. Second thing, I think important point here is business. A few years ago, I was in Leicester in the UK, and they told me, let's go to a function. I said, what's the function? This is a THIKA night. THIKA night in Leicester. And they're all people there from THIKA, ex-THIKA, but now they've settled in the UK. And they came together like that. And this is the first night we're having here. This I'm telling you, people out there are celebrating that they originated from THIKA and they're celebrating out there. We can call them our diaspora, right? If we need to tap into them, we can tap into them and say, guys, come on, let's form this linkage. However, here on the ground, like I say, here on the ground, we need to unite first and come together. We can do evidence-based advocacy. I was talking about creating a whole online directory right now, online on your phone. Directory, everybody's got their contacts, they know that. We can start doing business together here. I've got so many people here I can say, okay, fine, yeah, your service, this service. Environmental. I'm really proud you got environmental service in THIKA. I think this is something we need. Everybody needs it, including waste management. But from that waste, as what Anoiki was talking about it, from that waste we can produce power, we can produce many more things. In fact, bioenzymes. Please write it down somewhere. You can produce bioenzymes from any waste. Even your vegetable peels, banana peels, orange peels, bioenzymes will be your best biofertilizer. Our agriculture does not need to go into maize and staple foods. Wrong. Agriculture of staple foods, maize, wheat or wrong things should go to large-scale commercial farms where you can do it very competitively. On small-scale farms that we have here, it's not going to be competitive. We need to look at value-added products where we can get far better returns. And do organic farming, do vegetable farming or whatever, and we can send that to the whole of Kenya. But not of Kenya, also Nairobi city will need food. Right? We can start saying we supply them, but we can also supply many more people across the board. Kenya has become number one in floriculture and horticulture today. I mean, one of the number ones in the world today. Sending it by air every day is still being competitive. Can you imagine what could be done with this? So we need to look at technology, and I think technology, not just on a machine, but technology in agtech, edtech, education technology. If you're running such good institutions here and you've got good lecturers here, put it online. You can lecture 10,000 people sitting here across Africa. Did you even know that? You can do that. Just get a good learning management system and start doing that. Your curriculum can be set also. So that's the digitalization that's allowing it. I think even government services really digitalizing them. The reason I say this because today, look at our planning. You go to planning, they say digital maps, all that stuff is put on. But then later on, you have to give physical blueprints, right? They call it blue, wet print, whatever. And it's got to be stamped, and if somebody is looking at it, it's not digitalized. If we digitalize that, imagine, you wouldn't have any problems. The bankers in this room, go away, right? All the bankers would easily see, okay, whose mortgage is done, who's the owner, would remove a lot of things. But the first fact becomes, we need to become corruption-free. And I say this to people first. And I say this to businesses second. And I say this to government third. we need to become corruption-free. However, I have one thing to say here, is if we want THIKA smart industrial city, we want it to function, we must be authentic, all of us. So the giver and the taker must also be authentic. A lot of times it's sweet money to say, I have to just give it out, pay something, or trying to be somebody else. I think that's one thing we ought to stop. And that's what we can have a very strong code of ethics. We can actually do a lot of things on code of ethics and put it down and say, fine. For THIKA, if you're in THIKA business, sorry, not THIKA district, THIKA city business association or THIKA city business, you are blue ticked, as they say in Twitter or whatever. You're blue ticked, which means you are qualified. You do not pay bribes. You do not receive bribes. You do not cheat. You are credible. The minute we have that, and if you have that as membership, your member will be qualified for any bank loan, for anything else, even business to business, you will have trust there. And why am I saying trust? Because trust is so important. Every single business who's gone online. If you go online, how many people go to an online page, check your service or whatever, and then it says pay up. People don't pay because they say, hang on, what if they don't deliver? If I pay right now, they might deliver me wrong things, I don't trust the quality, I don't trust them to live up to their standards, right? And therefore they stop. I'm sure you guys, the geeks will know, people stop at payment. Before payment they say, no, I'll go physical, I'll go to the shop and buy something. It's because you're not blue ticked. If you were blue ticked, if we get that done here, and this is something that the association can do and say, fine, every single person is credible, is qualified, it's checked, verified, even if it's lawyer or whatever. And then you see your difference. THIKA will become competitive. Your smart industrial city will start working. If we start giving smart city, because we have to make sure automation, like Mara said, we have to automate all our traffic lights. We have to put in traffic lights. We have to look at digitization where there are sensors everywhere sensing where's the traffic, and smart city lights would make sure we have decongestion here. It's possible. The point is, do we have authenticity? Are we authentic? Or are we not true to what we say? We need to correct that. The point is, we're not going to correct the whole of the country. But in THIKA, can we do it? For all of us, can we do it? My question then is, if it's possible, what do we need to change? What's missing? If I want to set fire to this building right now, if I want to set fire, I want to put it on fire, how many matchsticks do I need? One? One matchstick can set this whole on fire? Are you willing to be that matchstick? Every one of you. Are you willing to say, I am the matchstick that, of course not going to set the fire, but to make sure that we bring this to make it happen. To make a difference. I call it being mad. Mad means make a difference. Because listen, I'll tell you openly here. We can come and talk, and we can be NATO. NATO means no action, talk only. Sidio, the point I'm driving at is, we all need accountability, traceability, and transparency, and authenticity. So that what we say, we do. Can we start doing it in THIKA? At least. Because if we try to change the world and say, unless they change, we won't change. If they steal, we'll also steal. We could start doing that and say, fine, so THIKA, at least we start doing that. And I'm not even suggesting the whole of Kiambu. Because Kiambu is bigger. I think we have a vested interest here, all of us in THIKA. Can we do that for THIKA? Start small. Become a role model. Can THIKA become a role model in the rest of Kenya to say, THIKA showed it? And I'm saying, with due respect, we've got seriously credible people who can help us. We've got lawyers here. We've got all the skills we need. All the skills we need. And we have past ideas too. And we have the youngsters too. And yes, we will morph it into a different way. Number two, let's change the laws. Let's change the laws so that people here are incentivized to be globally competitive. Government is a 30% shareholder of every business. When you make a profit, they take 30%, right? They're 30% shareholders anyway. Why do they start taxing you on every single item and this item and that item? Remove all those taxes and put it together and say, fine, corporate tax, that's it. Right? You will become more competitive and you can start selling more from THIKA to Kenya and from THIKA to East Africa, THIKA to SADC, even to South Africa, even to the rest of Africa. And then of course we've got access, market access to AGOA. America totally gives us duty-free access today. Do you know that? Today anything you want to export from here to America is duty-free. So it's there. We've got the EPAs being signed already. I think one of our was looking at EPAs long ago, but now it's been signed again. We've got the whole of Europe available for us. What are we missing here? And number two, if it's manufacturing, if it's services, whatever it is, get together. Collaborate a lot more. This whole thing about looking and asking for foreign funding, when Nyoike said it very openly, foreign funding is not free money. Foreign funding comes with fringe hands all over, right? Why not put it here? Why not pool capital here? I think we have some bankers or some private equity guys here. You could start a local collective investment schemes and say, fine, let's do this together because we are then competitive. A lot of the youngsters, and I say this openly, they want to do it on their own. I'm going to do it on my own. That's it. They don't collaborate. Some youngsters I speak to, they say, my idea is a secret. I will not tell anybody about it. And the idea remains secret. But when they bring out the product, everybody knows about it. So where's the secret? And they cease to collaborate. They don't tell anybody about it, but they say, my idea is secret. It dies with them. Can we agree tonight that we will unite first? And then we can have such sessions where we go in deep dive into every single area, whether it's laws, whether it's constitution, whether it's government partnership, whether it's law. You know, how do we collaborate amongst ourselves? Put all the printing people in together, put all the manufacturers together, put all the people who do agribusiness together and say, fine, now let's collaborate, let's see what we can do together. Is it possible? Yes. Can the THIKA, I'm not saying district now, can the THIKA Business Association, City Business Association start doing that? And that becomes our vision for the next 5 years. Just get together first. I know this is the first night we've come together, but despite all the timing, in spite of government, despite government, we're still here. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. The stamp of quality for the THIKA City Business Association becomes one of integrity, number one. Number two, powerful. Number three, united. Number three, indivisible. Nobody can come and divide you and rule you. Believe you me, any government will listen to you if you unite in that manner. Can this small group become the example and then say, we do it here, let's do it for ourselves, let's do it in THIKA. So within THIKA, we don't allow those sort of practices to happen. Within THIKA, we have a responsive government. Within THIKA, if you want approvals, they get done on the spot. Let's even bring up an online system for THIKA. We have some IT guys here, right? Develop a system for THIKA whereby we get everything done through online. Recently I met the governor of Muranga and his amazing stuff that he's done online. And he showed me, he says, we do the online. But THIKA is not doing it. In fact, Kambu is not doing it. Right? We can learn from them, but we can become better. So all I'm saying is, you've got an amazing space here. Let's not miss the chance. We can keep talking and talking and talking. But right now it's too late for us to absorb all this. So I just want to say one plea. Can we all discuss today and say, fine, we'll do this, number one. Number two, if in the next 52 weeks, which is 1 year, say every Saturday, what do THIKA come together, let's clean up the place. Let's clean up THIKA. You know, Paul Kagame did that in Rwanda. Every Saturday himself, he would go there. Today, Kigali or Rwanda is the cleanest place on earth today. None of the streets have any litter or whatever. Can't we do that in THIKA? Possible? Not like a project for photographs and do one or two of things and then say, yeah, we did planting of. We've got to stop this planting of seedlings. We've got to move from planting of seedlings to growing trees. I'm just saying that let's stop doing cosmetic stuff. Let's do real stuff. And like we did a program yesterday, you know, GE-NUE. It's called GE-NUE. So the small, medium enterprises, let's bring them out and let's say become bigger. Because look, at one stage, 37 years ago, Bidco was a SME. We were an SME. We started small. And we became bigger. So I just think that everybody here can do it. I was born in Nyeri, so I'm not a THIKA born person. My father was in Nyeri during that time. He actually helped a lot of the Mau in Nyeri while he did all that stuff. He's got a lot of stories around that. He's 92 right now. He's still around. But the point I'm driving at is, the important point is every one of you can do things. We can all do it. Provided we start doing it right way. Alone I'm weak, together we are strong. Everyone alone trying to do it, it won't happen. All together, you become a power. And the minute you become a power, it's not to say, do this and that against government, it's to say, influence policy. Influence policies towards what we want here. And then we get our water, our sanitation, our power, everything right. Last thing I want to say is here is an opportunity not to be missed. So I want to thank everyone to come together. But do we resolve tonight that yes, we want to unite? Let's just have that resolution. The rest can follow later on. In fact, we've already got volunteers who are advisors, right? Who can advise, who can give their wisdom. We've got volunteer lawyers who can also give their own time. And I think the important thing here would be the first year, we need to give it enough time without asking for payment. It's time for free. Donate. I think Gene was telling me about some organization where they said they were given officially 25% of their time was to be donated to a social cause. You bet pay 100%, but 25% of your time as a professional in the company is donated to a social cause. This could be a social cause, right? Yeah. If we start doing that, imagine every industry, every one of us, all our staff, if they gave up that time for free to make this thing happen for THIKA. Do you think what we dream of is impossible? There are many ways to do the how to, but the what and the why is we want to unite and we want to become, I have a board here called Unstoppable. Let's become unstoppable here. Can we become unstoppable? So THIKA unites, comes together and says, fine, we are going to be in this for the long run and therefore we are going to have the pride of THIKA and we'll make THIKA world class. And then look at the whole of Africa and say, fine, our markets are bigger. So I would want to say that all the youth, please, widen your horizons towards the whole of Africa, see the markets in a bigger way, opportunities are many. But last 61 years we've got independence, right? We have been potential for 61 years. We can remain potential for another 50, 60 years. We've got to make that potential into action, take action now, and really make the vision a reality. So thank you very much for listening to me at this time. I know it's 1:30, but amazing concept and amazing time to have a speech. But we can do that again next time. Thank you very much.